Today I was helping one of my clients fix up their email signatures because, as you can see in this screen capture, there's a few issues in the way that the layout is working. Now this is the way the signature appears under Microsoft Outlook 2010. So there are going to be some inconsistencies. Gmail displays them differently. I'm sure that other mail readers display them differently again. But a few things I needed to fix, some spacing issues and sizing of the icons. This line of text, which clearly has some CSS styling issues, I would guess. Different size icons here and their branding. So a fair bit of stuff to clean up. Now this client is using Microsoft Office 365 Online, which does have a signature editing tool built in. It looks like this. Signature Editor uses a small WYSIWYG HTML editor, which has rather limited capabilities. I can upload and embed images, uploading them from my hard drive, which is great. Apparently that didn't exist in earlier versions of this based on my research online. I've got some basic font and so on control, and I have the ability to do things like insert tables, do a bit of paragraph adjustment, and so on. What I do not have is the ability to view as HTML and to make modifications directly. No doubt, for the audience using Office 365, Microsoft didn't want to deal with support issues around them mucking around in the HTML, which is unfortunate. However, it's just the reality we're dealing with. Now, my first modifications to this were to replace some images, do a bit of touch-ups, and it looks good here. And the result looks all right too. This is the new signature as it appears again in Microsoft Outlook 2010, which is what I happen to have on this machine, and that looks far better. Never expecting perfection, but I want it to look tidy and clean and have all of the basic functionality like clickable icons and so on. If I look at this same image, however, under Gmail, the signature here looks quite a bit different. Most notably is this wrap around this bottom image. Now, obviously can't see that in the signature editor, and no matter what I did, re-uploading the image, deleting that portion, recreating it, could not seem to keep it from doing this weird border gray wrap until I realized that's a button. It is wrapping it in a button element, and I have no idea why. In fact, the WYSIWYG editor does not even have support for creating a button element. So it's not as though someone created one and there's some vestigial code sitting behind that I can't see and can't delete. It's just creating it on the fly. So what do we do about this? Now there's nothing directly that I can do in the WYSIWYG editor, and this is where I sort of hit a wall and began playing around to figure out what exactly is going on in the background. And this is where Google Chrome's Object Inspector was really fascinating. So something that I had not realized about the Object Inspector is that not only can I jump directly to the particular point in code I want to see, I can modify it as well. So for example, in this case, I can see here, there's a button tag, and there is my image, which looks pretty fine, and I've got a line break as well, and then my closing button tag. I can actually rearrange these elements, and I'm modifying the display and the web browser HTML in real time. I'm going to get rid of this button. I can delete elements, and now I've got what I really want. In fact, I want it a little bit tidier than that. I would like my alt to just be empty. There we go. Now I've modified the HTML directly. When I click OK, it's going to submit that HTML back to the web server. However, there is a trick here, and that is that there is a piece of JavaScript no doubt running, which is detecting changes. And I have not made any changes that would fire that JavaScript in the editor. The way to do that is to make a change in the editor, just add a space, and delete it again. And now I've essentially told the system that something has been modified and you're going to need to reprocess it. Now when I click OK, my change that I've made in the Object Inspector should persist. Let's have a look. If we open up that email signature again, I'm going to go down to my image. I'm going to open the inspector again, and there we go. Our button tag is gone, our BR is gone, and it has even eliminated our alt tag, which was creating some alignment issues as it is shown during the load process in Gmail. This is perhaps one of the most powerful little tool hacks that I've come across in quite a while. The ability to modify HTML within a component such as a WYSIWYG editor, which is a rich and complicated little beast. And quite often you are not given the ability to modify the HTML directly, or it modifies the HTML for you before posting it back. This gives me a lot more capability in fixing up the types of issues that we've just encountered. I really hope this tip serves you well. Happy coding!